Welcome back to class, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to today's explainer. We're going to kick things off right out of the gate with a pretty serious reality check. Every single day, millions of people swipe their credit cards without a second thought. And when they do it, they genuinely believe they're just borrowing money, racking up some sweet rewards, and making totally smart financial moves. But today, we're going to expose the real truth behind all those daily swipes. So I really want you to ask yourself this critical question. Are you actually building credit, or are you just building debt? Because we need to shatter that illusion right here, right now. The reality is the credit card industry makes billions, and I mean billions of dollars every single year precisely because people stay in debt. Debt isn't some unfortunate side effect of their business model. Guys, debt literally is the product. Okay, here's our syllabus for today. We're covering the psychology, the debt trap, the business model, escaping the trap, and lastly, mastering the tool. Section 1. The psychology. Why swiping feels so good. To truly understand this trap, we actually have to start with mental friction. Think about paying for something with cash. There's a real physical weight to it, right? It literally feels like you're losing money as those bills leave your hand. But swiping a piece of plastic, that gives you instant gratification with completely delayed pain. When you spend on a card, it honestly just doesn't register to our brains as a loss in that moment. When you boil it down, it's these 3 psychological triggers. You get the rush of instant gratification, the incredibly comforting illusion that you can pay for it later, and the pure physical ease of tapping a card versus counting out 20s. Every time you step up to a register, these factors strip away your natural financial defenses. Make no mistake, this is a highly tuned system, carefully designed to make spending feel completely effortless. Moving right along to Section 2, the debt trap and how interest rates actually function. So that psychological ease we were just talking about, that's exactly what sets you up for the cold, hard math of the debt industry. Enter compounding debt. This happens when interest gets charged on top of the interest you've already accumulated. It's basically a giant snowball rolling down a steep hill, picking up speed, getting massive, and just wiping out everything in its path. This specific mechanism is what turns a harmless little purchase into an absolute financial nightmare. Let's say you've got $2,000 on a card. It seems like a pretty manageable anchor amount, right? It's a super standard balance that a lot of people carry around thinking, oh, I can easily chip away at that. But this is almost always exactly where the trap begins. Because watch what happens when you take that $2,000 balance and slap a pretty standard 20% interest rate on it. The math gets ruthless real fast. That 20% isn't just a simple one-time fee. It's a relentless engine that works against you every single month you carry that balance. If you rack up that $2,000 in debt, get hit with the 20% interest, and then do what so many of us are tempted to do, just pay the minimum, well, boom. You have fallen perfectly into their trap. You're behaving exactly the way the system is designed to encourage. Check this out. Paying only the minimum can quite literally stretch out your repayment for years. Look at the massive gap between what you originally bought and the total cost you end up paying out of pocket. You are basically paying for time. And let me tell you, in the credit world, time is the absolute most expensive thing you can buy. All right, Section 3, the business model, or why banks absolutely love your debt. Let's peek behind the curtain for a second. Banks definitely have multiple revenue streams. Sure, they get merchant interchange fees, which is just a little cut they take from the store every single time you swipe. And yeah, they collect those pesky annual fees just for letting you hold the card. But their real moneymakers? That's the interest income on carried balances and late fees for missed payments. They are exponentially more profitable when you are weighed down by interest-heavy debt. Which brings us to a pretty harsh reality check. The longer you owe money, the more profitable you become to them. Now, there are plenty of users who avoid interest entirely by paying their full statement balance every month. But make no mistake, the entire system is heavily reliant on the millions of people who don't. Prolonged debt is literally the foundation of the business model. So, Section 4, escaping the trap, avoiding debt triggers. If we're going to escape, we've got to identify the specific behaviors that pull us in. Watch out for these 5 common traps. You've got lifestyle inflation, where you start making a little more money, so you mysteriously start spending more too. Emotional spending, or, retail therapy. The intense social media pressure to keep up with everybody else's highlight reel. Those incredibly deceptive buy now, pay later schemes. And the absolute worst, the juggling act of using one credit card to pay off another. These traps are everywhere, and spotting them is your very first line of defense. Finally, Section 5, mastering the tool and identifying the real enemy here. We need a quick perspective shift. The credit cards themselves, they aren't actually the enemy. The real problem is using the wrong card, using it the wrong way, or just fundamentally not understanding how it works. It's so easy to just blame the little piece of metal in your wallet, but the true danger is flying blind without proper financial education. Put simply, credit cards aren't evil, but using them blindly definitely is. At the end of the day, they are just tools. It's like a power saw. If you understand the rules and know how the math works, you can use these tools safely to build your financial house. But if you don't, well, you end up becoming their most profitable product. So, as class dismisses for today, I want you to think really deeply about this. Are you going to master the credit system, or are you going to let it master you? The choice is entirely yours. In our next explainer, we're diving even deeper. We're going to uncover exactly how banks decide your credit limit, decode the whole rewards versus cashback debate, and reveal the biggest mistakes first-time users make.